This is the story that shook the world economy. A powerful moment when two of the biggest countries, the United States and China, stepped back from the edge of a financial fight that could have hurt millions of people. Imagine two giants throwing taxes, called tariffs, at each other's products, making everyday items more expensive and causing problems for businesses and workers. That's what was happening. But now, there's a sudden change, a hopeful turn, as the US and China agreed to pause the fight, reduce some of those painful tariffs, and try to fix their trade relationship, at least for now. This isn't just news. It's a massive move that touches almost every person in the world, from factory workers to farmers to families buying clothes and electronics. The agreement is a truce, like calling timeout in a big game. The US promised to lower the extra taxes on Chinese goods, and China agreed to do the same for products from America. This is good news for everyone, especially people worried about prices going up on things they buy every day. But what made this happen? Behind closed doors, leaders and top officials from both countries talked for hours, trying to find common ground. And finally, they did. They agreed to give each other 90 days, 3 months, to work out deeper problems. In those 3 months, both sides will keep talking, keep negotiating, and hopefully build a stronger agreement. What's really interesting is how this affects real people. American farmers who sell soybeans to China had seen their sales drop because of the tariffs. Now they hope those sales will come back. Factories that depend on parts from China were paying more, making it harder to do business. Retailers feared the holidays would be too expensive for shoppers. But now, those worries are easing. Stock markets around the world celebrated the news. Companies that were struggling suddenly saw their value rise. The price of things like shoes, clothes, and phones might not go up as much as feared. Even travel companies saw their stock prices rise, as people might have more money to spend. It's not just about money, though. This truce also shows how powerful communication can be. It shows that even when countries are very different and have big disagreements, they can still sit down, talk, and find a way forward. That's something the whole world can learn from. But let's not get too comfortable. This is not the end of the story. There are still big challenges ahead. The US and China have very different views on how trade should work. America wants more access to China's markets. It wants better protections for its ideas and inventions. China, on the other hand, wants to keep growing fast and doesn't want to be pushed around. Some American companies are even moving their factories out of China to avoid future problems. So even with this deal, the tension is still there under the surface. Both countries are still preparing for the future, trying to protect themselves in case things go bad again. This means building new trade routes, finding new partners, and making sure they're not too dependent on each other. But for now, there is hope. For now, families, businesses, and workers can breathe a little easier. And the world can see what's possible when powerful leaders decide to find peace instead of conflict. This moment reminds us all that global trade is not just about numbers. It's about people, cooperation, and the choices we make. If this fragile peace holds, it could be the beginning of a new era of understanding and progress. But if it doesn't, the world could be back in crisis again. So stay tuned, because the next few months will tell us everything. Will this truce grow into a real friendship, or will it fade away? That's the question everyone is watching. This is more than politics. It's about the future we all share. A world with fewer barriers,